Hey guys, I've come down to the High Court today because today is the first day of the judicial review. We're going to see how this goes. I will of course update you, let you know what's happening. It may be a while before we actually find out what's happening. Meanwhile, let's talk to a few people here.
A brown card guy. Brown card guy.
Hey there, tell me who you are and tell me why you've come all this way today.
So I'm Peter Smallfield. I've been campaigning pretty much from day one against this ULEZ, against LTNs, 15-minute cities. We're here today because Khan has finally been put on trial over the absolute scam that is ULEZ. As we know, it has absolutely nothing to do with clean air. It's all about the control and all about the money it can make out of motorists.
What are you hoping will happen today and tomorrow, because this is apparently going over 2 days, isn't it?
Well, I'm hoping the judge will see through Khan's lies, see it for what it is, and scrap it.
And if Khan hasn't come to this hearing, obviously.
No, he hasn't.
But if
Surprise,
he came
surprise.
Here, what would you say to him?
Well, I'd just say exactly what I think of him. I think it's an absolute travesty. What he's doing is it's criminal. What it is, you know, and he's hiding behind his legal team. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want to face the people. It was the same at the Ealing People's Question time at Ealing.
Yeah.
You know, he was all too quick to say everyone outside was right-wing and fascist. You hadn't met one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were there in the meeting, and he got heckled to death for over that.
Yeah.
Because it was absolute nonsense.
Do you think that painting people in that light? Do you think that that's deliberate? Or
Oh yes, definitely. You know, it is deliberate.
All right.
Because they're trying to distance themselves from it, and if they turn the attention on them saying, "Oh look, they're right-wing, they're fascists," it takes the attention off themselves.
Yeah. So if this turns out to be negative, in our favour or not in our favour, does the fight go on?
Yes, definitely. This is far from over. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. Excellent, cool. How far have you come today, by the way?
I've come from North London, so not far, but...
Right, okay. But you've been very active, because I've seen you at many of these events.
Yeah, well, I get round to all the demos. I even got to Oxford. Yeah, I get everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, you went up to Oxford?
Yeah, I went up to Oxford, yeah.
I think my favourite sequence that I have of you is you basically holding onto the back of the bus in Marble Arch the other day and rolling along behind it.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Yeah, it was good fun, actually.
Good fun. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you.
Brown card guy.
Hey there, tell me who you are.
I'm Brenda, I live in Harrow.
I'm Angela and I live in North London.
Excellent. Where in North London?
Palmer's Green.
Excellent. And you're near me, actually, in Harrow.
Yes.
So you've come. So how did you get down here today?
On the tube.
Did you?
On the unhealthy tube.
Oh my goodness. I gotta be honest with you, I've started thinking twice now about using the tube, honestly, since I did my little monitoring of the air quality on the tube. So why did you feel necessary to come down here?
Well, because I think the ULEZ should be stopped. And the reason I think it should be stopped, because I'm not even a car owner, but I think lot of people do not realise that, one, if we have to call handymen, for example, to our home, we're going to have to foot the bill for their ULEZ payments.
Yeah.
And in a lot of boroughs, I understand, a lot of their boroughs' own vehicles are not ULEZ compliant.
That's
so
right,
we'll either be buying new vehicles or we'll be paying the fines.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a cash grab.
So tell me this, that you live in Harrow.
Yes.
How do you get around without a car then?
Public transport. I've been using public transport since 2009. Yeah.
So potentially you're actually confirming the pro-ULEZ people's argument that actually you don't need a car. You shouldn't have one.
Well, I think it's a choice.
Yes.
I used to have a car, and it was very useful. But I went travelling for a long time, so I got rid of my car, and I've not found a need for it since I've returned. But it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
I don't think all my family members should give up their cars, and they all live in London.
Yeah.
It's a matter of choice.
No, quite right. And do you drive then?
I do drive, yes.
Yeah.
I did come on the tube today though.
Right.
I agree absolutely. A lot of the changes that have been put in place are really detrimental. One, they are not in the best interest of the public. And I'm just thinking about the LTNs, and now the ULEZ. It's as if everything is a creeping step towards monitoring, surveilling, and really cutting people's freedoms to the core. And taking away choice. I know where I live. People who are disabled can't get about. Ambulances can't get to them. Quality of life is being absolutely destroyed. And this is yet another step in that direction. And it must stop.
Have you both lived in or around London for a long time?
My entire life. I was born in London.
You were, like
Yes,
myself,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And do you remember the air being better or worse than it is now?
Well, I can remember there's pea supers in the 1950s. I mean, in 1953, I think 13,000 people died because it was toxic air from all the chemicals in the industry. We don't have that industry now. We no longer burn coal. So this is the other thing. I think a lot of people today do not have those comparisons to how it was, where we walked around with our face mask on and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. This air is clean by comparison.
Do you think that that actually is an issue, that people don't quite understand things in context? They don't understand the context of how things have actually improved in London?
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of fear-mongering and a lot of misinterpretation of the data. There is no scientific basis for the arguments that are being made. The improvements are absolutely exponential. We live in a much better, well, generally, when we're not being rained on or we're not having whatever it is that's being our chemtrails, we're not having our environment interfered with. I do think that there are massive improvements, and I think there's misrepresentation, misinformation and lies about the so-called scientific evidence.
Well, there you go. I'm trying to do my best to try and put up some of those lies, but thank you so much, ladies, for talking to me today.
Pleasure.
Brown car guy.
Hello there. Tell everybody who you are and what you were doing on the weekend.
My name's Keith Steers, and I led a convoy from Bexley all the way around the South Circular and around the North Circular to Dagenham against the ULEZ. We had a very good turnout. We started off with about 54 vehicles from Bexley. Had a little stop at Ealing Common where we regrouped and show of strength. A lot of traffic, a lot of cars and a lot of different vehicles, people from every walk of life. Fantastic event. And then we went from there on to Neasden, met some more people in Neasden, and then carried on round to Dagenham on the North Circular. A lot of interest, a lot of passers-by interested in what we were doing and celebrating the fact that we were doing it. Minimum obstructions to other traffic, and made sure of that. Don't want to upset anybody on this. We want to actually get people on our side. And now here we are today outside the Courts of Royal Justice, trying to get this sorted once and for all.
This is a very key point that you just made about the fact that, and even with Convoy 1, we were trying to be very careful. I was actually with you on Convoy 1, to not actually obstruct traffic. And I think this was fundamental because that's not what we're about.
No, we're not like the Just Stop Oil people and stuff like that. We're about raising awareness. We're about getting people on our side and getting support. At the end of the day, when we stopped at Ealing Common, there was, we had over 50 vehicles lined up on the side of the road. We had people standing in the road, actually directing the traffic past, keeping it flowing. And when anything like a heavy goods vehicle came along, we stopped the traffic at one end of the lane to allow the heavy goods vehicles and the buses and stuff like that to continue their daily work. And then we allowed them all to go again. So, very courteous, and the support we got from people who was passing was amazing. They all agreed that this is wrong.
So you've done Central London, you've done the North and South Circulars, which is basically the perimeter of the current ULEZ. What's next?
So the next one I'm planning is about in about 6 to 8 weeks' time, where I'm looking at doing maybe the M25.
Wow.
And seeing if that can get some support from passing traffic. Once again, it'll be a friendly convoy, where we're not obstructing people. But I think that could be, that's going to basically be where the border is going to be anyway. So we need to get the people on the other side of the M25 aware of this and how it's going to affect them as well as those that are inside the zone.
Quite right. Well, Keith Steers, thanks for talking to me and keep steering everybody in the right direction.
Thank you very much. Let's get democracy back in the UK.
Thanks so much.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.